Hello everyone, Catweazle here. Welcome to the channel and welcome back to our play-by video of Arkham Horror, the doom that came to Arkham. And we're just about to start turn 10. Now as you can see, I managed to take down all of the game and then put it all back up again. So it wasn't as bad as all that. I was able to sort something out whereby I was able to keep most of it in a setup position, things like the player trays and stuff like that. So it didn't take me too long to put it back up. So here we are, and we are ready to go with turn 10. I probably made a few errors in turn 9. I think I forgot a clue for Patrice again, but she's got that now, so no problems. So let's just get straight on with turn 10 and the upkeep phase, where our first investigator will be Finn Edwards. And here we are with Finn. Unfortunately, Mark hasn't been able to post for this turn, so there was no flavour text for Finn. But basically, he shut and sealed the gate at Your Hat and Fly last turn. Didn't he do well? Brilliant stuff. There's not much that he can actually do, so it is quite an easy setup for him this particular turn. He's not going to move any of his sliders anywhere. He's going to keep them as they are. All he can really do is go to Devil's Reef. He's a bit stuck in that he can only move to Devil's Reef or Your Hat and Fly. We need to get somebody to Falcon Point in order to get him off Devil's Reef and Your Hat and Fly. There isn't a direct route from either of those locations back to Innsmouth, for example. However, there are some encounter cards where you do end up getting back to Innsmouth or Arkham, so we may get lucky and pull one of those. What he's going to do is he is going to go to Devil's Reef. You can do that, and he is going to pick up those 3 clues are there. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to go to Devil's Reef, pick up those 3 clues, hope we get a good encounter, and hopefully he will get back to Innsmouth or to Arkham. We shall see. First of all, we've got to roll for his bank loan. And he gets a 3, so he's got to pay $1. But he's still got $3 left, so we're still quite away from defaulting. So I think that is it for Finn. He's just going to head to Devil's Reef, pick up those 3 clues. That is it for Finn. Next up is Agnes Baker. Taking the bus back to Arkham, Agnes and her companions, at this rate she would have her own baseball team soon, shared information about what they had seen. They discussed where they should head to try and gain more information, and decided to head back towards the witch house. The plan hit a snag once they hit the Merchant District streets though. Looming in the street was yet another monstrosity. "Excuse me, Agnes, but if you will move out of the way, I can take care of this." Agnes gladly hid from the monster, letting Dr. Lee take the lead. No sooner had Dr. Lee dispatched the Elder Thing than 2 more monsters lurched towards the group. "I have this fight, Dr. Lee. If you could just patch me up a little bit more." So here we are with Agnes, and Dr. Lee can indeed patch her up a little bit more. So he's going to use his physician ability, and she has now got 4 stamina, which is great. And she's got to roll for a blessing. And she gets a 6, so she definitely keeps a blessing, which is great because she's going to be fighting this turn. Brilliant. Right, so Agnes, what is she going to do? Well, she's going to update her fight and will, and that's going to go to 1 and 3. She wants to pass the horror checks, so that will give her a bit more chance of doing that. And she's got the stamina, so we've just done that, that's fine. So she's not going to move, she's going to be fighting the ghoul, she's going to use the shotgun, and then she's going to fight the fire vampire and cast Wither. She's got a Memories of Conquest ability, which is here, so that'll be pretty cool. They're both pretty weak monsters, to be honest. I'm fully expecting her to deal with them quite easily. So as soon as we've done that, There'll be no encounter this turn because, again, she'll be staying in a street location. But that's no bad thing because we do have 2 Hounds of Tindalos. So staying in the street isn't a bad idea. If you can't stay in the street, then get into another world. That is basically the idea when you've got Hounds of Tindalos knocking around. So that's it for Agnes. I don't think there is anything else to do. No, that is it. So next up will be Patrice Hathaway. Patrice arrived at the University Science Building, and the doctors there were falling over themselves to hear her story and get her autograph. She told them the experiences she'd had, and they came up with dozens of hypotheses, none of which made any sense to Patrice. Many of the things they described helped her to understand what was going on around her, but nothing would solve the problem. The doctors were bent on their research versus actually solving the problems. Patrice had had enough. She excused herself, ignoring their protests, and walked back to the main campus. She peered up the street towards the merchant district. She also peered across town towards French Hill. Which way would she go? Which way should she go? So here we are with Patrice. She's got clues all over the shop. She's done a brilliant job. Hopefully what is going to happen is Agnes is going to kill those monsters in the merchant district. Because what that will mean is she can go through the merchant district herself. She'll be able to trade with Dr. Lee and give him the Elder Sign. He will give her $2 and then she can head up to Arkham Asylum and get her sanity back because she's still only on 1. And that single sanity is a worry. Righto, so let's work on the assumption that that is going to happen. So what does she get? What does she need, rather, to get to Arkham Asylum? She needs 1, 2, 3, 4. She needs 4 speed, but that's alright because we've got fellow travellers, so she'll just exhaust that. So she can get there. Yes, that seems fine. So we won't move any of her sliders. For an encounter, hopefully she will make it to the asylum. She can spend the $2 she gets from Dr. Lee and get full sanity. The good thing about being in the asylum is that even if the Hounds of Tindalos move, they cannot go to the asylum, just like they cannot go into St. Mary's Hospital, so she should be safe there. If Agnes doesn't manage to kill the monsters in the merchant district, she will go for it, and she will go into the witch house with the Elder Sign. But we'd rather not do that. Why? Because she's only got 1 sanity. So hopefully, she won't have to do that, and Dr. Lee can do that. Speaking of Dr. Lee, he is up next. After killing the Elder Thing, Vincent Lee was appalled to see 2 other monsters come lurching out of the darkness. Even as Dr. Lee finished his incantation, Agnes was beginning her own to meet this new threat. Over to the east, Vincent could see the telltale glow of a dimensional portal. One of them would have to try and shut that gate. Here we are with Vincent. Is he going to do any updates on his sliders? No, he's not. He has, however, used his physician ability and he has healed Agnes for another stamina. The whole idea is Agnes kills those 2 monsters. Then when Patrice comes by, he will give her the $2 and he will get the Elder Sign. Dr. Lee will then move to the witch house and he will be dragged through the gate there during the encounter phase, whence he will be taken to the other world, which is the Great Hall of Celiano, and he'll have an encounter there. He should, hopefully, have the Elder Sign with him. He's got clues of Patrice's that he can use as well, so hopefully he'll whiz through there in a couple of turns and we will be able to seal that gate. So that is the plan. But it's Arkham Horror, and we all know what plans count for. But hopefully that will be cool and we will be able to put that into action. Oh, one thing he is going to do, he's going to use the Terrible Old Man's ability and he's going to get himself a sanity back. So that puts him up to 4. So he's just used one of his focuses to get that sanity back. Right, so that is it for Vincent Lee. Next up is Michael McGlenn. Mike staggered in the near darkness for a bit before getting his head on straight. The path was clearly marked before him, so he travelled on, looking for an exit. Of all the bloody luck, he grumbled aloud to himself and shook his head. Some evil power must have it out for him, and this place was not safe. As if on cue, there was a loud screech that came from something that definitely did not come from Earth. He ran, and the creature gave chase. Mike was a bit tired and not quite up for a fight, so he felt in his pocket for the silver key. Holding it tight, he invoked its power and ran on. Shrouded by the power of the key, he lost the creature, and then he hid for a bit. After some rest, he moved on, searching for a way back to Arkham. And here we are with Mike. Well, he's going to update his fight and will, and he's going to put it to 4 and 3, which it's already at. So I probably made a mistake last turn. So it's already at 4 and 3, so that's fine. It's alright, he was only going to move that anyway, so that's okay. He's going to move to the second part of Unknown Kadath during the movement phase, and then won't have an encounter. He's in another world, so it'll be another world encounter that he does have, and that'll be an Unknown Kadath one. So we'll do that, and then hopefully the turn afterwards he'll be able to come out of Unknown Kadath back to the Unvisited Isle, which no longer has any monsters guarding it, and hopefully he will be able to shut that gate. So that is pretty cool. Righto, so that is it for Mike. Next up is Daryl Simmons. Once in the church, Daryl was approached by Father Mateo. He explained about seeing the ghost of his grandfather and of all the other strange goings-on of the past few days. Father Mateo told him that another young man had been to see him with a very similar story. Daryl realised that it was the guy that had nodded at him in the French Hill streets. Father Mateo asked Daryl to join him in a prayer, and as they did, Daryl could not help but think of the young man. So here we are at Upkeep. I've just realised that during the introduction I had Daryl in the French Hill streets. He's not in the French Hill streets, he did move to South Church, so I've corrected that now. I've put him in South Church where he should be, because what he's going to do, he's going to stay in South Church, and he is actually going to spend this particular gate trophy, and he's going to bless Mike McGlenn. We want to make sure that Mike can get out of Unknown Kadath and can seal the Unvisited Isle gate, so that's what we'll do. He's only got 2 health, so, and 3 sanity, so yeah, let's keep him in South Church. It's a bit of a gamble. We are hoping that the Hounds of Tindalos do not move, because if they do, they will both turn up at South Church, so hopefully that won't happen. Oh, mind you, yes, we might split them actually, because we do have Finn at, he's going to be at Devil's Reef, isn't he? So yeah, one of them can go up to Devil's Reef as well, rather than 2 going on to the same person. But hopefully they won't move at all. Right, so that is it for Daryl. He's just going to bless Mike McGlenn. He was the last investigator this turn, so next up is the movement phase. And here we are at the movement phase with Finn. He can actually move to Devil's Reef, so he will take those 3 clues. Thank you very much. That is it for Finn's movement. Next up is Agnes Baker. And here we are with Agnes, and it's a big movement phase for Agnes. She's not moving, so that means she's fighting. First thing she's going to fight is the ghoul. We're not evading it. So we've got a horror check, which is +0, which goes to -1. So we've got -1. She's got a will of 3, so that's 2 blessed dice. And she gets a 6. So she hasn't lost any of her sanity, that's great. Next, it's the combat check, which is at -1. Now I think this is just a single toughness. It is. So that's great. And she's using a shotgun, which is +4. -1 will make it +3. She's got 1 for her own fight, which makes it 4 again. +1 for Thomas, which makes it 5. But it goes down to 4 again because tourists have flocked to Arkham, and we get -1 on the check. We need 1 success. And we get 2 4s. She's blessed. She has killed the ghoul. So that's the first one down. She gets another monster trophy. And we get a stand back for Arkham. Right, next up, it is the Fire Vampire. So there's no horror check whatsoever, so that's good. But we do get -2 on the combat check. And it is physically immune. So we cannot use the shotgun, but we can use Wither. So let's dig Wither out. Here's Wither. So casting modifier is +0. So that means we will get to roll all of the law dice, which is, it's quite a lot I think, it's 5. So we get 5 blessed dice. And we get 3 successes. So she's casted it. This gives her +3. So again, +3, I think -2 is... Oh, this is going to be a bit tricky, isn't it? So +3 -2 is 1. There's 1 for herself, which makes 2. There's 1 for Thomas, which makes 3, but we lose 1 because of tourist flocks to Arkham. So we're only going to roll 2 dice. So roll the 2 6s, eh? I think that's the best plan. Remember, she has got some clues. And she didn't need them because she got 2 successes. She's a beast. So got rid of him. And we get another monster stand back. So our plan is going to plan. Put Wither back onto a tray. What a movement phase on good old Agnes. Brilliant stuff. Well done, Agnes. So she has gone. That is it for her. After Agnes, it is Patrice Hathaway. And here we are with Patrice. She's going to go 1, 2 into the merchant district. And she's going to trade. So the elder sign is going to go to Vincent Lee. And he is going to give Patrice $2. So let's do the swap. Then Patrice is going to carry on moving. So I'll just reposition the camera. Patrice will move 1 to downtown. Then she will exhaust fellow travellers. And that means that she can get into Arkham Asylum. That is it for Patrice's move. Next up is Vincent Lee. And here's Vincent. He will be saying farewell to Agnes. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3 into the witch house. Great. Right, that is it for Vincent Lee. After Vincent Lee, it is Michael McGlenn. Here's Mike in Unknown Kadath. And he's now in the second part of Unknown Kadath. That's it for Mike. The next player after Mike is Daryl Simmons. Here's Daryl in South Church, and he isn't going to move. He's just going to stay there. So not much of a movement phase for Daryl. That is it for the movement phase. So next up is the Arkham Encounter phase. And here we are in the Arkham Encounter phase with Finn, who's at Devil Reef. Right, so that is the green deck. So, a bit of gymnastics. I will do a shuffle in front of the camera and a cut. Let's see what we get. Devil Reef. You find the body of someone who was handcuffed to the reef. Nice. Make a will -2 check. What's his will? The will of Finn Edwards is... Dun, dun, dun. 1. But what he's going to do is he is going to spend a clue. So he gets at least 1 roll at this. So we'll put that there. He is blessed. So I think it's worth spending a clue. See if he can do it. No, he can't. He's going to spend another clue. Surely we can get So, another clue. Come on. Come on, Finn. You can do it. A 4. He does do it. So he does pass. It costed him 2 of those 3 clues, but that is the main reason why I got those clues. Because while he's stuck on Devil's Reef and your hat and fly, we may get nastiness. If you pass, you discover the man who was still clutching something in his hands. Gain 1 unique item. Woo! So we'd have lost a sanity. But we get a unique item. Always good. I'll put this back and get the unique item deck. Will not be a moment. So here we are. Quick shuffle. And let's see what he gets. He gets the Book of Dejhan, which isn't too clever, as I recall. Movement, exhaust and spend 2 movement points to make a law -1 check. If you pass, draw 1 spell, lose 1 sanity, and put 1 stamina token from the bank on the Book of Dejhan. If there are 2 stamina tokens on it, discard the Book of Dejhan. If you fail, nothing happens. Sorry for that wobbling all over the shop, but I am leaning right across the camera. So he gets the Book of Dejhan. It's alright for now. But it's not something I would have actually bought at the Curiosity Shop, I must admit. Okay, so that is it for Finn. Next up, it is Agnes. Here's Agnes. We're only staying with her very briefly because she's in a street location, so she doesn't have an encounter. After her, it is Patrice, who is at Arkham Asylum. And here we are with Patrice, and we're going to do the text encounter here. We're going to spend the $2. There we go. And that means she gets 4 sanity back, taking her back up to 5. So that is very useful for Patrice. She's now at full sanity and full stamina. Excellent. That is it for her encounter phase. Next up, it is Vincent Lee. And here we are with Vincent. He gets sucked straight through the gate and ends up in the Great Hall of Celiano. So that is his encounter phase. After him, it would normally be Michael McGlenn, but he's in another world. So we will go straight to Daryl Simmons. And here we are with Daryl Simmons. He is going to spend his gate trophy as per the text location encounter. And he is going to bless Michael McGlenn. Great. So Mike gets blessed. That is excellent. And hopefully that will help him out in the Otherworld encounter phase. Speaking of which, that's next. And here we are at the Otherworld encounter phase. It's Vincent first though, he goes before Michael. So we need a blue or a green card. The stars are right. Right, what I'm going to do here is I am going to put all the other cards in like I should have done last time. I didn't bother last time because we'd only have 3, but I'll put all the discards in and shuffle everything. I'm not going to shuffle it in front of the camera because it'll be a nightmare. I'm just going to do it. You can hear me shuffling anyway. And so I'll give it a quick shuffle and then I will do the cut on camera. As you can see, it's back to a nice thick deck now. And what we require now is a blue or a green. And we get a blue straight away. But we do not have the Great Hall of Celiano, so it's an other. You are lost in a labyrinth of high walls. Pass a law -1 check. We could do with passing this. A law -1 check. His law is 4. Does he get any help? No. So that's 3 dice. Come on, Vinny. You do not want to be delayed. Come on. Oh, rubbish. Shall I spend? I'm going to spend 1 of Patrice's clues. Just 1. Yeah. So we'll spend 1 and just see if we can get away with it. Come on. Single die. Catweazle magic. Damn it. Right, we'll leave it at that. I have a feeling he's going to be delayed, but let's read the card just to make sure. Yeah, stay here next turn. So we'll put him on his side. Well, could have done without that. That's bad. Okay, let's hope that Michael has a bit better luck in Unknown Kadath. And here we are with Mike. And Mike needs a red or a yellow. That's a blue. That's a red. Oh, and we've got Unknown Kadath as well, so let's have a read of it. The enormous silhouette of some unthinkably large creature looms on the horizon. You prudently choose to travel in a different direction. You have no encounter. Wow. That's okay. It doesn't say we're delayed, so that's fantastic. A good gate card. We like those. Yes, so that was good. Right, so we can get rid of that. We didn't need it. And that is it for Michael McGlenn. And that is it for the Otherworld Encounter phase, which means one thing. Yes, it is the Laugh and Chuckle phase. And here we are at the Laugh and Chuckle phase. So let's get on with it. A Laugh and Chuckle card. Let's see what we get. Dun, dun, dun. At last, a new environment card. We get rid of that bloody tourist in Arkham twaddle. So we've got two. Ooh. Ooh. Right. So we've got Esoteric Order of Dagon or the Woods. Now, I think what happens here is there's just two of them, just in case, like, you don't have the sideboard. Yeah? We do have the Esoteric Order of Dagon. So even though it's got a gate seal on it, we don't move on to the next one. You only move on to the next one if you don't have the Innsmouth board. In this particular case, we do have the Innsmouth board. So we have a sealed gate. We do not get an opening. It's not a gate burst. But because a gate has been prevented from opening, what that means is the Deep One track does go up. So that's now up to 2. And the other good thing is because a gate hasn't opened, I won't make the mistake of not giving Patrice a clue for a gate opening, because one hasn't. The clue still appears at Devil Reef, so that goes straight into Finn's pocket, so he gets a clue back. Did spend 2, if you remember, but he's got one of them back, so that's good. Plus and a moon. I think we've got a third rift. Oh no, whew, thank God. It's at the bottom again. So we've got 2 rift tracks with 2 on. I thought one of them was going to have 3 on. What's this? Is this Congregational Hospital again? So we've got 2 Congregational Hospitals on there. So if actually we got somebody to go to Congregational Hospital, we get rid of both of those, I think. Or do you just get rid of one at a time? In fact, I think you only get rid of one at a time. But send somebody there, they just stay there for 2 turns, get rid of it. But I think we're at a situation now where I don't think a rift is going to bother us. So what else? We've done the rifts, we've done the Deep One Rising track. Patrice didn't get a clue because the gate didn't open. We've moved, the clue went to Finn, so we just read it. New moon, environment weather. Investigators receive 1 less movement point to a minimum of 0 during the movement phase. When an investigator is driven insane, he does not discard any of his clue tokens. So that's quite an easy one, a Miskatonic one. Yeah, that's okay. It's certainly better than Tourists Flock to Arkham, which was a menace. So we'll sort this out. We will get rid of Tourists Flock to Arkham. Discard that. And New Moon comes into play. We've done very well actually. We've had no rumours, touch wood. So, yes, that's very good. Don't want rumours, they're not nice. So that was a very quick Mythos phase, and it was a very good one too, so we don't mind that one. Yes, so we're all set up. We've got Mike coming out next turn. Hopefully he will be able to shut that gate. He'll use his fight. Probably he'll have to move his fight up again another notch. But that'll be 5. I think it's a -1 gate. We got rid of the -1 gate being a bib. So he'll still have 4 dice to have a go at that. And he's blessed. So that should get shut and sealed next turn with Patrice's clues. The only bad thing is, unfortunately, Vincent got delayed, so he won't be able to march across into the second half of the Great Hall of Celiano, so that is going to put us back. We're going to have at least one more turn, so we'll have one more turn for there to be a gate burst or something similar. Hopefully that won't happen, but we shall have to see. Yeah, it's just a bit of a bummer, Vincent getting delayed. Oh, monster movement. I didn't do the monster movement, did I? It was plus move on white and crescent moon's move on black. Right. So both of our square monsters don't move. The crescent moves on black, so that goes up to East Town. The zombie goes up to East Town. That's a slash monster, that doesn't move. Crescent monster of a ghost, but it's yellow, so it's stationary. So all we got was the zombie moving to East Town. So we've caught that now. Yes, one of the other good things about that gate opening on a seal at the Esoteric Order of Dagon means we didn't get any monsters, which helps. Okay, yes, so pretty good, pretty good. Only fly in the ointment is Vincent getting delayed, unfortunately, so that is going to stop him getting out and sealing a gate, and he will definitely seal a gate because he has an elder sign. So it's just like delaying the inevitable a bit, but you know, we're giving the game an extra turn to come out with some horrible Mythos card or something similar. Like I can just see a gate burst coming up. Actually, it's setting us up for one. One of the other good things, we don't get a Doom token on the Doom track, so that's good. So yes, pretty good turn, pretty good turn. We did okay. Our plan came off. Agnes managed to kill those 2 monsters, so that was excellent. We've had such a good turn, I may have to think up a real nasty like episode title just to wind Dave up. I think I will. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. That is it for turn 10. Thanks for all the subscriptions, for all the views, for all the likes, for all the dislikes, and for all the help and support. It is much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who's gone to Board Game Links to upvote the site. We're well over 500 now. I don't know where all these likes are coming from. One thing I did do is I noticed like last year, you didn't have the sort of heart on your page. Like when it goes to Catweazle's page, there's not like a heart there. You just get the hearts in the list. So what I started doing was sort of linking it to the latest video. And I think that gets you a like. If you actually follow the link up here, it takes you to the latest video. And I think that's where all the likes are coming from, to be honest, because I can't think of any other way that they're coming up. So, but anyway, for all of you that have pressed that link, thank you so much. And of course, don't forget everybody on BGG who likes the threads there, who thumb them up, who have made a comment. Thank you very much. And yes, if I've made any errors, please let me know. At least I haven't made the Patrice doesn't get a clue for the gate opening error this turn, because we didn't have a gate opening. But if I've done anything else, I think I may have messed up on not Patrice, on Agnes. I'll check in the editing. It just struck me that I don't think I gave her her Memories of Conquest die. I don't think I did, but I'll check in editing. I'll put a note on if that is the case. But other than that, I can't think of anything. Hopefully I haven't made a mistake, but you never know. I probably have. So if you do spot one, please do point it out. That is it for turn 10, as I mentioned. So I hope you will join me for turn 11. But until then, this is me, Catweazle signing off. Toodaloo.